Okay, this phase is the actual practical. And the very first thing we do is we check to see, because the very number one thing to check is always the sacrum. The sacrum is going to tell us how everything that relates to the spine, both going up and the legs going down this way, how they're oriented. If the hips are locked or jammed, if the trochanter is jammed into the hip, it'll all be revealed by just testing this. The way to test is to tell the person, okay, without bending the knees, with a straight leg, you're going to lift one leg at a time straight up. And tell me if either leg feels heavier. So you're going to compare the weight of the legs, one leg at a time. Okay, raise as high as you can go, and down. Now the other leg, and down. Does either leg feel heavier to you? Which leg? The right. If you notice, when he lifted the legs, the right leg didn't go as high as the left. So I already know pretty much by looking what he's feeling. So okay, we say, okay, the right leg is heavier. So we take the right leg, we put it over, and we know that the sacrum has three basic positions where the hips meet. So we're going to go first across this way, ha, then across the center, ha, and across the top, ha, ha, and then we uncross the legs, and we say compare again. How do they feel?
Better.
Better. Is it 100% better?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
It's about 80 to 90% better. So that means that whatever was binding right hip to sacrum is freer. However, there may be something along the lumbars and thoracics, or there may be something further down from this, where the trochanter enters the hip. So we're going to check that with step number 2. Step number 1 was raising the legs and comparing, and then going 1, 2, 3 across the sacrum, pushing from the opposite side of the leg that's heavier. Step number 2 is to bring the right knee out. You tuck the ankle in, you hold that, and then you start on the right side from up above. Ha, ha, ha. There it goes. It released just now. Ha. And there's another one. Ha. And then we pivot this by holding down on the other side of the sacrum so that the right hip to the sacrum is completely free. And we torque it this way. Ha, ha. Now we bring it back. We always hold the sacrum down as we bring it back. And now we say again, compare the legs. Now you see how much higher that goes and how much lighter it feels.
Yeah.
That's when the whole hip to sacrum is released. It's free. Now there may be something down here at the trochanter, and the person may say, okay, this feels lighter now, but something in here, something in the lower leg is still not quite right. So then we take the side that's not quite right over the left leg, and then we, from the trochanter down here on the opposite side, we ask the person to breathe. And on their breath out, at the end of their breath out, ha! We do that. Basically, it just knocks it free on the opposite side. Not on the side where the actual problem is, on the opposite side. Once again, breathe in. Let me hear it. Breathe out. Ha! Like that. And sometimes I have to do it up to 3 times. Sometimes just once, twice, third time. Okay, sometimes I surprise the person. Don't let them know that you're about to do it, because they may lock up. So if they have a tendency to do that, surprise them on the beginning of their out breath or in the middle of their out breath. Okay, now compare the two legs. Do they feel even?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now we know that the basis for the spine, the basis for the legs, for the towers, are free. Now we bring the hands back and we start first by stepping on the sacrum. We know that's in place, we know that's perfect. So now we have the sacrum and we push it away. We're now lengthening the spine. Now move up a little bit higher so that your Adam's apple clears the table. Right there. And then we go on the left side of the spine. And we're now going to press all the muscles away from the spine as we go down the spine.
Now, are you rocking your weight from
Yes.
foot to foot?
Rocking the weight from foot to foot without actually lifting the foot off the body. I'm just sort of sliding it down along the whole spine.
So your foot that's based on the sacrum is not really lifting all the way off and releasing.
Right. Now I switch to the other side. And I'm pushing away from the spine, following the natural curve of the ribs. I encourage the patient to breathe. Watching to skip over the last floating ribs. Don't put pressure on the floating ribs. So now we're down in the glute area and we're rocking back and forth. Now we come back up again to the top and we get both feet on both sides of the spine. Not on the spine. We never step on the spine. And there it's just naturally releasing, just from the pressure. We're rocking back and forth. And that frees up not only the vertebra and the lumbars, it actually squishes the internal organs to get them to start releasing their chi and their fluids throughout the body. Now we're going down across the glutes, and at the glutes you can do both the front of the foot on both sides, or for difficult problems, right in with the heel. To get that to release. Now we're coming down both legs, and we do somewhat of a penguin type move to go across going across here, both inner and outer hamstrings, which are tight on most people. Now we switch and we go here. From here we can massage this way, and to increase the blood flow, we ask the person to bring their left foot up and down a dozen to, let's say, 17 times. And while you're holding this area here, you're holding both hamstrings, the blood flow diminishes to the foot. And you can see that the blood, as you step off it, rushes in, and the foot that has become sort of light color because the blood has diminished now gets fed again, and if the blood rushes back into the foot, it gets nice and pinky colored with the flow of blood. But this is where you jiggle the foot. Jiggle with your foot, you jiggle the muscles. You're helping increase the blood flow back in through the leg. And what that does, it really brings more oxygenated blood both in and out of the leg. Remember that on the inside, you have the yin channels, the kidney channel mainly going up, and then on the outside, you have the urinary bladder channel going down. So you're working with both channels moving up and down. Then you hold the leg with your left foot and massage with your right. You can also use your heel to go into the kidney points and bring the kidney channel, kidney energy up into the body. Now you switch here and you get the arch. And by this time, as you're down here at the foot, the person who is lying down is feeling lightheaded because this area will travel all the way to the top. And they feel, wow, that feels so good. Now from here we go to the other leg. On the right side, because we have the liver, main organ on the right side, and in this society a lot of people get angry and they have a lot of liver qi stagnation. We squish the liver. Get the liver qi to release. And then we move right over the floating ribs, skip those, and go right onto the kidney with a light pressure. But we want the kidneys also to release. We never jar the kidneys, but we can put pressure on them. Now we go through the gallbladder channel. His right leg was heavy, so we use the heel right into the glutes here. And then we work this down. And we say, okay, up and down. Bring this foot up and down. We hold the inner and outer hamstring. By compressing it, we stop the blood flow to the foot, through the leg. And then when we release it, the blood flow rushes through the leg, opens everything up again. One more. Okay. Now, when the foot is in this position, you can do several things. You can go through the inner channel all the way to the toes and do the inner channels all the way this way, all the way up. Or you can do the outer channel by turning the foot this way. And you can hold the foot here. And you can work the outside. You can turn around and go this way and work from this side. And you're working the channel down. You can come over here. You can work with it this way. You can work with it this way. You can turn the foot completely. You can use your body, your arm, depending on what pressure the person allows you to apply. You can work from here You can work strong. You've got that cushion under the ankle, you're okay. And you come back. Now once you've got both legs worked on, you get the arch with your arch of your foot, and you work your heel into kidney 1 position. And you do that on both sides. Once you've got kidney 1 position under your heels, you bounce back and forth 1, 2, 3, 4, about 17 times. And then bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 17 times. And then you come off. Now the legs are done. We come up to the arms. We're going to do all the way to the hands. And you basically get the wrist area from PC6 through the wrist, through the palm, and then to the fingers. You do that on both sides. PC6, the wrists, down to the fingers. And you're going back and forth, you're rocking from left and right, allowing the person to settle in. Once the person's settled in, remember these are the heart channel points, from heart 1 and pericardium down to the hands. So you're basically opening up the energy from the chest, the blood flow coming off that down. When you hold the hand and you dig in here, you're basically putting your foot into the heart, inner chest area. And you're bringing that flow of blood, flow of energy, flow of chi down to the extremity. And you apply pressure again on the inside. And you can sort of arch, bring the arm into the middle of the arch of your foot. So that way you really don't really hurt the person, but you're applying enough pressure that it moves everything down. You can see how the hand sort of gets reddish. You know the blood is flowing down. After you've squished it enough, after you've put enough pressure there, you start at the top and you jiggle. You vibrate the energy. And switch over to the other side and do the same thing. Pick up the heart meridian. And you work down along the meridian, through the palm, down to the fingers. And by doing that, we have now squished the internal organs to the extremities and then facilitated the flow of that energy all the way to the extremities. If you can get the energy to flow to the extremities, you don't really have to worry about it going back. It's much easier for it to go back than it is for it to get there. Now to come down off the table, we have to say, okay, what area of this person that I'm working on needs the most attention? Is it the right leg? Is it the lower back? Is it the mid back? Is it the neck? Is it the shoulder, the arm, wherever? That will guide you. He still had something here to release. Just that pressure. He did. He released that. So I would say, let's say he had a left shoulder problem. I would start my energy working towards that. From here you put your body weight into that area. Of course you do both sides of the neck. And you can do 5 pressure points, you can do 3 pressure points. You can feel the base of the neck and see how that energy is. But when you determine, okay, this is the area I'm going for, you go right to that area. And whatever the problem is, whether it's a wrist problem, an elbow problem, a shoulder problem, you want to start as close to where the tower is anchored. So the base of this tower starts with the clavicle in front, the scapula in back. And we have to work that till it's free. And when we see it has its own play, it's naturally flowing, nothing is jammed, then we move on to the next area. And we check to see if the wrist is good. The wrist is good. And now we take it to the extremity. Here we can do with lotion. We can apply lotion and go down across this way. We can use the thumbs. We can use the palm. We can use any of the techniques to take the energy all the way to the extremity. If the problem is still at the shoulder, we can use the foot from here. We can use it along the side. So this concept is still working the tower to set it, anchor it perfectly again to the body so it gets the nourishment that it needs to come back out. We can also get in here and work the whole base of the shoulder, and it's influenced going up. You can go in here, you can go in here, and you can go over the area we haven't reached, the yang outer area of the muscles, this way. We'll come at it this way until it's free. And then we can then take it back in here, which this is more a technique that sometimes when it's very difficult and you can't get that area, you can come back here and use the foot into the shoulder blade. And we stretch out all the muscles that anchor that area. You basically get in underneath there and you hold it. And get that whole side to release again. Once you come down from that, you can come here, massage it, typical massaging. And depending on the person, if they have some problems in here, you can say, okay, scoot down and turn your head to the left side. All the way to the table. There you go. And then you say, okay, open the mouth a little bit so that the jaw is not jammed in here. And this area is not clenched. And you stretch the shoulder and the head. And then it lets go. You just stretch. Stretch the shoulder to the neck. And that releases. That holding that allows the whole complex of the spine, cervicals, shoulder muscles to just release. But then you'll say, okay, the problem is on the left, but what's happening with the right? Let's turn over to the other side and just hold that. And it opens up. It opens up very easily. It just opens up. Then you're assured, okay, all these upper areas here are open and free. It's up to him to maintain that. Which is the hard part. That's why they sometimes have to come back.
Right.
But if he can maintain that, he'll be free. Okay, come back up again. Throughout the whole massage, the energy that you're using never locks up. You cannot at any time hold your breath while you're working. If you hold your breath, you're locking up the person's problem into yourself. If you stay grounded and you keep in mind that you're using basically an energy similar to the Qigong energy, where when you breathe out, you're compressing. When you breathe in, you're expanding. So if you're the energy you're using never locks up. It's always flowing. They in turn will feel that energy. And when that energy moves through their body, it's a healing energy to them and it's a healing energy to you. So whenever you're pressing, you're letting air out. Whenever you're not, you're bringing air in. You're expanding and you're contracting. You're pressing and you're letting go. That'll take your massage, your health, and their health to a different level. The more massages you do, the more energized you are, rather than being exhausted at the end of the massage. It's always nice, once the very strong energy has been moved, the very light energy that complements that has to be moved. I like to use do 20 at the top and just hold do 20 and then reach to the bottom of the sacrum and bring the energy. As I breathe out, I'm concentrating, compacting the energy up. As I expand my hands, I breathe in. It's good to maybe you open everything up, let excess stuff you don't want to go, and you say, take your time. When you're ready, you can get up, and it's over.